Kimi K3 is landing today, a rumored 2.5 trillion parameter open-weight model built for hours-long agent runs. And if it lands where the leaks say, the model you plan with just got a cheap Chinese understudy. This is Mainframe, your daily guide through the AI chaos. What actually happened, who is winning, and how to take yourself to the next level. It is Wednesday, July 15th, 2026. I am Nova.
And I am Dex.
On today's Mainframe Kimi K3, the open-weight monster dropping today, and the exact move to make while everyone else is still reading the leak. Anthropic quietly turned its Claude Code plugin marketplace into a real screened app store, so installing skills stops being a copy-paste trust exercise. And the one you have been dreading, Fable 5, the model you plan with, leaves subscriptions Sunday night at midnight Pacific, so your best planning window closes in 5 days. And I will tell you the cheaper substitute up front. 2 hands-on tools, 3 clever use cases. Let's get into it.
Quick note before we roll. The voices you are hearing are AI. The reporting, the pics, and the opinions are put together by humans. Nobody at a lab is whispering in our ear.
The board, and keep your wallet in mind. The macro move that touches your costs today is the open-weight price war getting a new heavyweight. DeepSeek is prepping an IPO at a roughly $71 billion valuation, up about 37% in 2 months, and it got there on volume and price, not raw genius.
And Kimi is right behind it. K2.6 already runs roughly 7 times cheaper than Claude Opus 4.6 at current rates, and K3 is rumored bigger and aimed squarely at long-horizon agent work.
Here is the read for your bill. When the 4th best model on Earth costs a 1/5 of the frontier, single-vendor lock is a margin leak. You do not need to become a chip analyst. You need one rule. Cheapest capable model by default, frontier only when the answer must be right. That frames everything today, including the Fable cliff.
Which brings us to today's sponsor.
Brought to you by Outpace. Here is the thing about a week like this one. Models reshuffle 3 times before Friday, and if you are a business owner, you cannot chase every launch. Outpace is one senior operator, 30 years building real businesses, real estate, hospitality, food, even a theater. Now aiming a whole team of AI agents at one client's project at a time. Strategy to ship. Not a freelancer, not a faceless agency, a system. The agents do the work, the operator steers the fleet, and at the end, you own the code and the keys. When the model shelf changes weekly, you want someone who swaps the engine underneath you and keeps you moving. Book a 30-minute call at outpace.media. That is outpace.media.
The Wire. Story 1. And it is the builder one to act on. Anthropic's Claude Code plugin marketplace just became a real, curated app store.
Right. For months, installing a skill or an MCP server meant trusting a random GitHub repo. What changed? There is now an official Anthropic-managed directory, Claude Plug Packages Official, that ships automatically when you start Claude Code, plus a community marketplace, Claude Pills Community, where plugins have passed Anthropic's automated validation and safety screening, and each plugin is pinned to a specific commit SHA in the catalog.
Pinned to a commit matters. It means the thing you install today cannot silently change under you tomorrow.
Exactly. Here is precisely how you use it. The install flow is 2 steps. Run /plugin marketplace, add owner/repo, then /plugin install name at marketplace. The official one is already there. To add the screened community catalog, run /plugin marketplace add Anthropics/Claude-plugins-community, then browse and install. The concrete move this week: stop copy-pasting skill.md files from strangers into your .claude folder. Pull your next skill from the screened marketplace instead, and get the commit-pinned, safety-checked version, while most builders are still cloning raw repos, and run /checkup after to see if any of it is bloating your context.
Story 2. The Builder Stakes 1. Fable 5.
The silver lining first, because it matters. Fable is not leaving permanently, and there is a cheaper substitute you already have. Now the stake. Anthropic announced a third extension keeping Fable 5 free on Pro, Max, Team, and Premium Enterprise plans through July 19, 2026 at 11:59 p.m. Pacific. After July 19th, Fable 5 stops drawing from your plan's weekly limit and bills through usage credits at $10 per million input and $50 per million output, twice Opus 4.8 and the top of Anthropic's price list.
So the free planning window closes in 5 days. What is the substitute?
Sonnet 5, launched June 30th as the new default for free and pro, offers near Opus 4.8 agentic performance at $2 per million input and $10 per million output. Route bulk work there. Reserve Fable for what only Fable does: long context, multi-day reasoning. And the smartest move is not to burn the window on throwaway output, which we will get to in use cases.
One more note. An unreleased model called Honeycomb briefly showed up in Cursor.
Yes, Honeycomb EAP appeared in Cursor's model menu on July 8th, before being pulled within hours, with a documented 1 million token context, extra high effort mode, and a fallback chain routing to Opus 4.8. Andrew Curran and Kimi K3 are both carrying the theory that this is Opus 5, possibly before month-end. Reported and rumored, not confirmed. Do not re-architect around a model string that does not publicly exist. Watch Anthropic's newsroom.
And Kimi K3 itself, our cold open. Where does it actually stand?
Be precise here, because the internet is not. As of July 15th, Kimi K3 is unreleased. It has not appeared on Moonshot's public API listings. Kimi.com still features K2.6, and there is no model card, license, or benchmark. The clearest hard signal is a limited-time top-up promotion tied to a July 15th launch, with bonus credits of 10 to 30% on API recharges through August 11th. The leaks describe a roughly 2.5 trillion parameter mixture of experts model with a 1 million token context, aimed at long-horizon coding and agents. Kimi K3 and Andrew Curran are both carrying it. My verdict? Treat the timing as strong, the specs as rumor, and do not swap production onto it on day one. The move is to be ready, which is the routing dial we keep preaching.
Tool Lab. 2 picks a builder can use today.
Pick one is a hidden gem that is perfectly timed for the marketplace story and the Fable squeeze. A context quarantine pruner surfaced through the awesome Claude Code and Skills community list. What it does? It reads your real session transcripts to find skills, MCP servers, and agents that were loaded into context but never fired, then safely quarantines them. Why you want it? Every skill description and MCP tool definition sits in your context every single turn, whether it fires or not, and that is silent token spend. This tool supports Claude Code, Codex, Hermes, OpenCode, Cursor, and OpenClaw, has zero telemetry, ships as a single static Go binary, and its scan, report, prune workflow keeps removals reversible, installable via Homebrew and NPM under MIT. First step: install it, run scan on your heaviest repo, read which skills never fire, and prune them. It changes your daily workflow because a leaner context is cheaper on every message, which stretches your Fable allowance right up to Sunday. Credit to the maker on the Get Bindu Awesome Claude Code and Skills list.
That pairs cleanly with /checkup, which flags the same context tax, but this tool goes cross-agent.
Right. Pick 2 is trending, and it is a research skill. Last 30 Days by M. Van Horn. What it is: an AI agent skill that researches any topic across Reddit, X, YouTube, HN, Polymarket, and the web, then synthesizes a grounded summary. Why now? It recently added Archive for the papers behind the hype and TechMeme for the editorial tech news layer, both free with 0 keys. And First Run Setup installs their command line tools so they activate automatically. Install it via npx skills add mvanhorn /last 30 days-skill in Claude Code, or as a one-click MCP bundle in Claude Desktop. One reviewer said it replaced the manual Reddit and X searching, tab by tab, thread by thread, that took 90 minutes before every piece of content. The move. Before you write your next post or pitch, run it on your topic and let it hand you real, recent conversations instead of stale blog posts. Credit: M. Van Horn.
Use cases. Existing tools, clever moves.
1. And this is the move before Sunday. Do not spend your last free Fable days generating output you throw away. Spend them distilling Fable's judgment into files you keep. Run your hardest recurring job on Fable, then have it write down how it planned and structured the work as a Claude code skill file. Skills are portable markdown, so that same file runs on Sonnet 5, on Codex, and on Kimi if K3 lands. You are buying the expensive model's judgment once and keeping it cheap forever.
2. Borrow Ali Miller's pre-deadline checklist.
Yes, she published it, and it is worth stealing. Have Fable inventory every AI subscription, API bill, and per-seat tool you pay for, mapped against what you actually used in the last 90 days. Then recommend consolidations, because most professionals pay 3 tools to do one job, and the judgment, cost per finished task, not cost per seat, is exactly where Fable leads. The inventory is trivial, the reasoning is hard, and the output saves you money every month after.
3. The K3 readiness move.
Wire an open weight route into your fallback chain now, before you need it. Set your Claude Code fallback model chain, add today's best Chinese open model as the high-volume route, keep Sonnet 5 as default, and reserve the frontier for hard reasoning. Then, when K3 actually ships with real benchmarks, you swap one line of config, not your whole workflow. Ready beats fast.
And that readiness idea is where our next sponsor fits.
Brought to you by SearchViz, also an Outpace media product. Mainframe tells you what shipped. SearchViz makes sure the models know what you shipped. Because when a buyer asks ChatGPT, Claude, or Google's AI overview for the best tool in your category, the model names you, or it names your competitor. And if it does not name you, you do not exist to that buyer. SearchViz tracks whether the answer engines cite your brand across every engine, tells you why, and hands you the exact thing to publish to win the citation. Check where you stand and start free at searchviz.outpace.media. That is searchviz.outpace.media. Be the answer.
The deep dive. One idea.
Here is the through line nobody is saying out loud. Look at today. Fable rationed by capacity. Kimi K3 rumored to undercut the whole Opus tier. A screened marketplace so you can trust installs. a pruner so your context stays lean. Every one of those is the same lesson from a different angle. The model is a rented, swappable commodity, and your only durable asset is the workflow you own around it. The routing rule, the distilled skill file, the lean audited setup, the client relationship. None of that arrives in a model release, and none of it gets commoditized when the next model is cheaper next Tuesday.
The builders who panic chase every launch are optimizing the one thing they do not control.
Exactly. So here is what I would actually do about it. Stop asking which model is best this week. Ask, is my harness swappable? This week, wire one open weight fallback route and distill one Fable skill before Sunday. Do that, and Kimi K3 landing, Fable metering, Opus 5 leaking, none of it is a fire drill. It is a line of config.
Level up.
Level up this week. Distill one Fable skill before Sunday night's cliff, and prune your context with today's cross-agent quarantine tool. 20 minutes, and every run after is cheaper and outage-proof. Subscribe to the free Mainframe newsletter. Every story, number, and link in your inbox each morning. For Dex, I am Nova. Keep your harness swappable.